Game 1, Broken Blade has got to be feeling himself against the powerhouse in the form of Zeus.
It's going to be the Alistair lock-in here for Keria. A pick that he has not...
G2 trying to overload if Keria does overstep. Mickey looking for Faker, who steps around the wall, and Mickey's there for the knockback. Faker locked up first, there's nowhere for him to go. G2 first blood.
Considering the amount of pressure that's been thrown towards him on the top side of the map.
Caps going in, knockback. We've seen Caps do this before he flashes. Not quite enough damage, but one more auto is enough for Caps to get G2 second.
In the LEC, starts the series off with a solo kill.
Here. Bell goes in with the last breath, the Looting Lullaby as well, double sleep, yike, knockback, watch out, Eep indeed for T1, and a gorgeous flash from Broken Blade, the key! Aimed towards mid.
Look at Caps right now, you've always got to keep your eyes on this man in the mid lane. He knows that Faker has moved down towards the bot side, Zeus aware.
It's going to be the Dragon, and the Roam will get punished.
Oh, Ona might just look to get Caps here. Wind becomes lightning hits. Caps going to jump away. Ona can go for the chase. There's the Destiny as well, and Caps in his jungle tries to jump away again. Flash from Zeus. T1 on the ball.
Is falling behind a little bit. A lot of that is just off the back of Mickey permanently roaming towards
Zeus, who locks in the gold card. Yeah, Broken Blade, you don't win this 2v1. Zeus steps in, there's the gold card, Baker shuffles forward, and Broken Blade should fall. He goes in with the last breath, but the shutdown to Faker is enough. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Looting Lullaby on Ona forces him away. Another plate for G2 as Keria looks for the stun. Knocked back, TP behind by Faker, still no Shurima shuffle for him. He does have the flash though, and Mickey doesn't have much of a health bar left as T1 continue to collapse. Keria has the flash. Headbutt pulverize, goes in onto Caps, Destiny behind, and now Caps needs to get the hell out of there, but T1 are trying to send him to the depths. Faker chasing in, Faker finds another. And from what was a great game state for G2, T1 punch back.
Looks like the reboot was successful for Faker. Just
the second Dragon of the game to make sure that they can get control over this Rift Hell.
Herald, though, going to be valuable when it comes to sieging. Things like Tristana and Azir jungling as well, stealing away what camps he can. And ultimately, the map has been split.
By Shirelle is just running people.
Zeus. He's
going
to die.
Yeah, Lilia's there.
Yikes on his way. There's no way for Zeus to get out of this one. Has exhaust, has flash. Shouldn't burn either of them. As soon as he sees Yike arriving, watch out. Eep as Zeus falls in the bottom.
Really just going to help them siege and threaten these side lanes that they have so much influence over.
G2 well claimed by T1.
I think they can escort the Herald in for another siege. Broken Blade has made his way.
Very good call.
I mean, I was thinking to myself earlier, oh, hang on a second, Broken Blades.
Manages to get onto Guma Yushi, who has the cleanse, who has the flash, and has the chain of corruption, but it's blocked by the wind wall. G2 investing the TP here as Mickey falls to a piercing arrow, and Keria finds the double knock-up. Yike trying to do everything he can as Caps is forced away with the exhaust. Zeus locks in the gold card, Hans Summer has to cleanse. And there goes Ona pushing forward once again. The Destiny onto the back line as Yike now locked up, shut down by Faker. Hans Summer next on the menu as the dive forward continues.
As a fed Lilia, there is a lot of powers Broken Blade.
One more down, gold card out, Keria goes back in, chain of corruption for the follow-up, Mickey looking for the Magnus Sword, Caps dives onto the backline, Broken Blade with the last breath, as Zeus tries to flash away, he kills Broken Blade, Caps gets one, but Gumayushi puts him in his place. Sent to the 7 hells as G2 lose 2.
Drake here as well. Mickey looking for another engage, but there's not a lot of vision.
No vision at all. Yike could try and steal with the swell seed. Slide forward. No vision in the pit for G2. Keria flashing, knocked back. Locked up with the stun card. The chain of corruption. And Caps is clapped.
Keria once again. His Alistair is absolutely popping off in this game. He punishes Caps and now the Baron is unlocked for T1.
Tristana, a character with so much built-in safety, you feel safe to just walk towards that unwarded brush, but unfortunately for Caps, Keria was waiting. They will get a consolation turret on the other end of the map. Doesn't look like they're going to get much more than that, though. Having incredible, not just kind of a sense for when to start these Barons, but how they utilize them to pressure side lanes, how they utilize them to set up the map as Caps.
Gold card once again, Caps exhausted, trying to trade with Zeus, no flash for him. Guma and Ono on the chase, dash forward with the audacious charge, chain of corruption, and Caps is sent packing. One of the main problems on G2, he really struggled to have an impact this year. He's been performing incredibly in the LEC. We were talking about whether it's Prime Caps back from the dead. In this game, he has been struggling.
Early game looked good, but ever since that topside roam didn't end up working out, it's been quite rough. T1 now setting up, making their way over. Baron about to time out. looking to play towards this as they try to cop some Faker.
Just to kill Faker. It's been said so many times. The flash from Faker immediately pops the stopwatch. Gumayushi here for the chase chain of corruption blocked with the wind wall, and Faker will fall, but Mickey almost follows. Face call gets him out. Owner, Carrier, Gumayushi, and Zeus on the chase forward. Gold guard locked again. Carrier gets a double knock up at Caps. Able to buffer out of it. Carrier on the backline. Kills off Mickey. Yike trying to do everything he can. Broken Blade low. Buster shot into the engage with the last breath, but it's Broken Blade who has lost the breath from his lungs. Yike looking for more. Owner low. Gumayushi and Zeus very healthy though. And Gumayushi is there. Chain of corruption about to come back off cooldown. Caps jumps onto Zeus. Locked up with the gold card once again. Counter TP as Caps look for the play, but T1 answer with a fist of their own. Caps down again. Faker TP's in, and you have to think that might just be it for G2.
I just look for the end here. T1 pushing down through mid.
They're going to be on the inhibitor tower very shortly. Broken Blade and Mickey trying to defend, but it's the Nexus turrets that they will be defending. I think T1 just want the inhib, get the Drake, get yourself.
And it becomes kind of a lose-lose situation where you have to punish him in situations like that. When the rest of the team...
Zero deaths, his positioning has been flawless in these fights. As desperately as G2 has tried to get onto the bank.
Nefarious business,
Him and
okay?
Graves looking shady.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Magnus Storm in as immediately they dive in. Baker puts the Emperor's Divide down, but G2 from the darkness out. Carrier getting forced away by Caps. G2 still on the Baron. Chain of corruption just goes wide. Mickey locked up with a gold card once again. The Baron down to 2,000. Zeus takes one, but Yike gets the Baron. Carrier with a three-man knockup. Owner with the Crescent Guard. Stopwatch coming out as G2 just try and get out of the fight, but they might look for more. Yike has the lilting lullaby. Only locks up Owner. Unsummer dancing and ducking and weaving his way around the pit, but he just can't get away. Gold card locked again as Yike's day will be ended. The Baron for what? Perhaps a Nexus.
Incredible team fight once again from T1. Carrier just keeps finding these engages. They have 5 people alive, only 2 left to defend. I don't know if the Baron buff is going to be enough to keep G2 alive in this game.
It would be a miracle to end all miracles as Caps is just demolished. Broken Blade there in time with the wind wall. The Baron up minions helping out G2 a little bit here as T1 start the siege. Carrier down to half HP, Unbreakable will almost back up for him. The first Nexus tower falling lower. They're trying to get both at the same time. They take one. Mickey goes for the engage, last breath, but it's only onto Zeus. The Magnus Storm not going to do too much. And it looks like it's all over for G2 in game 1. Owner playing with his food a little bit as Broken Blade's locked up. Caps trying to get the damage down, but Hans Summers next on the menu as T1 clean up G2. And it's T1 G0.
Gauge. A lot of the damage reliance going to be coming from Hans Summer and Caps. I feel like last game it was very difficult for Hans Summer to get the damage out that he needed to. He was very outranged in the fights. And he had a front line that he needs to be careful though. Still only level 2.
Tanglebob's going to hit onto him. Gumayushi chasing in Mickey, already down to half HP. The chase continues from T1 as Owner joins the battle. Hans Summer with the rend on Guma, trying to get the slow down. Owner still chasing forward. Mickey no flash. Tanglebob, Spectral more. Carrier on the board.
It's okay. I'll play it again.
Great vision control from T1. Spots the room from Mickey.
Carrier coming in from the side. Owner joining in as well. Yike looking for the damage. Mickey just walking straight forward here. Baker still holding on to the seismic shove, and Mickey is locked up with it. Mickey rooted with the tangle barbs, and he walked right into his own death. And Baker comes...
Caps does have his flasher, should be fine even if it is forces to cancel.
Oh, the Portugal coming down as well. Broken Blade still has the passive, looking for the brittle. Zeus flash forward, but the unstable matter for Broken Blade is enough to heal him back up. Zeus burned his flash, burned his ult, and Broken Blade just walks away.
That was a heavy commitment from Zeus.
Big win, yeah, for Broken Blade.
I'm kind of surprised. Now the bot lane dive for Owner.
Carrier stepping forward. There's the Weaver's wall in by Faker as well. Mickey does have the flash back up, looking for the stun, but can't find it in time. Owner possesses him. And underneath the tower, he is fine as a rose.
T1 with fantastic bot lane control. Yike is forced to cover.
Good reaction flash from Gumayushi. Could see it coming.
Goes that the early ones will determine a lot in the outcome of this game.
I think the game might boil down to the fact that G2 are pushing forward here in the Pop Blossom. We'll find Mickey. Tangle Barbs for this follow-up. There's the Spectrum more. Call of the Portugal coming out as Mickey tries to turn it back around. The shockwave possibility from Caps. But Mickey already falling low as Owner possesses his body. A 3-man shockwave into the dive forward. Is it enough for G2? Broken Blade fighting Faker.
Though, because Faker had to use his ultimate against Broken Blade, he can't use it to cheat towards the skirmish. Might get caught here.
Faker does have his flash, but he's knocked up, locked up, and shut out of the fight.
Back, and pick after pick, gonna convert this into the grubs as well.
And they're still looking to contest.
I think you just want 4 here. Back away from it. T1 trying to stop them from getting 6. Well, 6 is the new breakpoint, right? 4 and 6 with the changes. It looks like T1 were trying to stop them from taking them. Can't do so. Caps pushing in the top lane, so it will be 6 in the end.
Side of the map.
T1 is just dropping here. A lot of that already is just letting the turret go. Zeus is there now, but the turret is going to get taken out.
Right, looking for him, goes forward, Carrier flashes away, Drake secured. Broken Blade diving onto the back line. It's only Carrier for now. There's the Pop Blossom, TP's behind. As Carrier will fall first, the TP behind from T1. Not going to look for any more of a collapse. Hansama dashes towards him. I have that exclamation mark above his head showing that Ono is closest. Guma, oh, beautiful.
Insane amounts of value. So I can imagine if G2 still feel the need to play a little bit aggressive.
Does still have the flash. Mickey's on his way here. Flash away, but the Heartbreaker breaks the hearts of Europe. Yikes, still on the chase though. Ono has no flash. Broken Blade coming in from the side. Let's bounce, baby! Faker locked up. Ono sent packing. G2 get 2.
I don't think the game plan was for Caps to die, but G2 make it work. 2 for 1. Gumayushi, 2 of the momentum is shifting.
Mickey looking for Faker here. Pops the ultimate, it's actually Carrier, sorry. Massive Pop Blossom, Guma trying to turn it around onto Hansama, can't quite get close enough. Another piercing arrow might be enough to get through him as Broken Blade hits the tower. Can't do damage to that one.
Oh, that's
the mid lane tower still stands.
I think the game becomes incredibly hard to play out for G2.
Shockwave in by Caps as Faker's pulled back. Seraph's there. Yike coming in from across the wall as well. The smite can go in with the Void Rush, but Caps 6 the kill. G2
punish the side lane.
This is the mid-game G2 have been working on all year long. Jump in by Broken Blade. Does still have the passive TP coming forward as well. Broken Blade able to get out with a flash and a lights bounce. He's put into the cell division. Will T1 continue? Carrier starts to back away. Dragon down to 4,000. Ona trying to get in for the smite. You have Ren smite and it's secured by G2. Faker puts the Weaver's wall down and separates Hansama and Caps from the team. Broken Blade dives in and might just have to jump out across the wall here. Call of the Forge God trying to protect Faker. Mickey falling low. Dive in by Ona, but the Fate's call will pull Mickey to safety. Carrier continues to step in. Looks for the Tangle Bar.
Rated him very high at the coming into the tournament. Hansama in some danger.
Hansama, no flash, no cleanse. Side steps the sides. McShelvin. Faker has no flash of his own. TP comes in. Broken Blade going to join the fight. Void rush forward. Faker goes down. And now the Call of the Forge God is more of a prayer sent to the heavens to try and escape. Caps is on the flank. And I've seen a shockwave land here before. Caps steps in. Pop Blossom. What? It's beautiful. But they do not have the damage! The shockwave from Caps finds them all as G2 wipe away T1.
And Guma is going to desperately try to run. He might make it out, but the rest of his team is evaporated. The Baron on the board here for G2. The attempted turn from T1. Way too overeager. And G2 punished.
The wall. Guma.
Oh, baby.
Feels like a very... Oh, hang on a second. Broken Blade.
Onto Faker once again. Faker flashes away. The stretching strike will pull him back, though. And Ona might be the first target as Yike sinks his teeth into the fight. Faker now forced away. The Weavers will pull back. Broken Blade on this Zac has not given T1 a moment to breathe. 8-0 for Yike. Making sure T1 can't just sneak away Soul Point from under your noses. I wonder if G2 will look for a reset off this Baron or whether... Man, Yike.
The ultimate combo means that T1 lose their jungle, lose their mid laner, and it secures the Baron and the Dragon. And again, like, I don't have time to explain.
Being used. Solar play on the backline as Mickey dives deep here. G2 maybe overextending, but the flash forward from Yike for the double knockup. Slap their heads together. G2 have had enough of this game. Pop Blossom comes out. The Cap's still very healthy on the backline. Broken Blade still has his passive. Another stretching strike on Ona as Hansama begins to dance on him. Stunned up for the second. Faker able to kill off Hansama. G2 maybe a tiny bit greedy because Faker puts the Weaver's wall down. Broken Blade dashing in, locked up with the Unraveled Earth. G2 could overstep
on the cross map, but now almost 10k gold behind. G2 looking to...
Answered by Ona. Cap's going to take a bit of a chunk here. Ona, though, can you answer the power? Broken Blade Heartbreaker across into the Blast Cone. The chase from Yike. The Blast Cone and Broken Blade reads Ona like a book. Mickey comes in from the side. There's the stun. Broken Blade slaps him around the head and gets another kill on the board.
That might be the sign for G2 to actually look for the end. No Viego resets take so much threat out of this composition. Their lead is immense. Bot lane Inip is still standing, and Talia is always a little bit scary to dive, but you gotta imagine they gotta try and push for the end here.
Weaver's wall down, Caps isolated. G2 still pushing 4 strong through the mid lane. Seismic shove going wide. There is Faker flashing forward, and he's met with a spear through his heart. G2 find another How Long Throna, 17 seconds, 5v3 now. G2 might just go double in hit base. Could be a little greedy, and they've often been in the LEC. We'll see if it continues on the international stage. Carrier trying to get in with that Blossom. No flash for him. First Nexus tower down. Finds Cap. Call of the Forge God coming down as well, but the stopwatch will buy a second for the G2 mid laner. And Onu is just deleted by Hansamo on the backline. Guma next up. He will escape to the safety of the fountain, but that's where he'll watch his Nexus fall as G2 even out the series at 1-1.
Convincing.
Not necessarily the guy, and as you're playing Camille into Poppy support.
I know that, yes!
I mean, it gives you lockdown. If you can jump in, you put down your Hexagon, get level 2 off one more minion. There we are. Zayas locks in the gold card. Wind wall comes out. Ono will wait. Mickey engaging in the bottom lane as Guma almost stunned against the wall, but not quite. Guma gets first blood, and Hansama stunned. What a 2-for-1 in favor of T1.
Meanwhile, on top side, Broken Blade is able to survive the gank.
What you have to do sometimes to Poppy.
Instead, though, they do take a big gamble, and these type of lanes, double Halo Blades, do thrive on finding early leads. Now, when we look at the farm, it wasn't that bad of a trade.
Astral fly forward by Faker.
Faker!
Caps just needs the autos. Faker! Faker coming across from the side as well, has the skies descend.
As his ult.
Mickey's on his way. This could be the ball game right here. Faker goes in. Who tanks first? Already we see Hansama falling. Yike with a flash. Faker tanks a tower shot, but T1 able to get out. Caps looking for the flank. Has the shockwave, but no flash. Ona tanking on the front line as Mickey and Yike continue to collapse. Can Caps find Faker? Not today! Faker escapes. Guma falling low. The ignite not enough to take him, but the command attack will send him to an early grave.
His arrival means that G2 can get the chase down. But ultimately, I still feel like this bot lane heavily going in the favor of T1. And we look at top 2, a very different story compared to game 1.
And he goes.
Breath in. Zayas locks the gold card. Broken Blade just trading there. Not too much more going to happen.
So he's struggling for now, admittedly. We know that this matchup is only going to get better for Broken Blade. Ghost is used.
Cease and desist in the mid lane. Good skies descend though the shockwave. Faker dodges it, but Mickey's here. Faker no flash, and Mickey slams him into the wall.
Into a kill. Carrier on a ward.
Right, skimming across. Carrier on a ward. Flash forward. Chain of corruption. The lock up on Guma, and there's nothing he can do to escape. The chase continues. Carrier doesn't have a flash. Can he hookshot? Can he wall dive? Or will he just die?
And you gotta put some question marks on T1's decision to say, hey, you know, the Poppy's coming out, we're still gonna pick.
Themselves out of the game deficits, they find incredible ways to come back into games. Their Baron plays in particular are what made the finals so difficult for Gen G and why it was such a chaotic, crazy 5-game series. So definitely not going to count them out. G2 find themselves with about
towards that you only keep scaling up quicker.
Carrier.
And goes on. Carrier locked against the wall. Yike. Here for the chase. Will they use the cease and desist? Ona goes back in. TP flash away with the Cataclysm. Keeper's birded out by Mickey. Hansama now collapsing. Base call. Guma locked up. The shockwave. Yike going back in onto Guma Yushi. Hansama has Carrier on his base and he might get taken out by the falling star. Carrier trying to put the damage down, but it's too skills. Hansama. Oh, he thought he was gorgeous, and he was! He flashes into a bush where there's a sentinel in their favor.
Now, expectations coming into this series were that T1 would be the heavy favorites. We've seen the number of predictions, and of course, this series is not over yet, and by no means is G2 in a convincing position. They are playing against T1 in all 3 games. We've been seeing these incredibly close back and forths. And
well, MSI 2020. That was 4 years ago. Is the chain of corruption going wide from Hansama? The Destiny's going to come in, and there's no way for Hansama to escape.
He's so dead.
I don't think that was a necessity. There is going to be a gold influx here for T1. My main issue, again, is going to be how are these team fights going to damage us? That's the one thing you need to be careful of if you are G2. Don't overextend as Guma.
Oh, all the way onto Guma. The flash away. Steadfast presence. Mickey can't find the stun, and Guma will be able to get the blast gun in time. Yike! Misses the bolt breaker, and now he's on the wrong side of dodge. Flashes away, Cataclysm, shockwave dodge with the Hexagon ultimatum, and Yike locked up and shut out by T1.
Overcommitment.
Hard to ever walk up and contest because there's so much damage. Just Mickey.
Guma has no flash. Guma has no flash and no Edge of Night. Destiny out. Smart play by Zeus to spot. The fact that Mickey was flanking Carrier. Going in with a Hexagon making knocked back with a hammer shot. The Cataclysm. Cap's still stunned up, and Mickey's already killed off Zeus. Cap's down. The shutdown goes to Guma. Mickey trying to put the hammer snap into the last breath. And T1 maybe breathed that last in this game. G2 find 2.
They are going to give up the Baron, might get at least a mid lane turret for it, but not the trade that you're looking for. And G2 take a commanding lead.
The confidence that we're seeing from G2. Broken Blade is in range, the comms come through, Faker gets knocked up, Ona gets knocked up, and they convert it into 2 kills.
Not getting too much. If you only end up getting a mid lane turret out of it, it is nice, but by itself, not enough. And I think this is where the threat
has been outstanding. And considering his game 1 and 2 that were not the best, he has definitely turned things around. The win wall should prove helpful.
Carrier, no hookshot wall dive. Stun card locked onto Yike. Singularity going down. Broken Blade dashing forward. The threat of the Steel Tempest lands that Q3. No last breath to follow up. Another tower goes down. Carrier
Strong, ready for the next team fight.
Broken Blade puts the win wall down. Hexagon Maiden coming out as well as Carrier dives onto the backline. Broken Blade down to half HP. Ona dashing forward and Mickey finds Faker. The chain of corruption follow up. The shockwave. Faker falls. Yike able to survive as well. Locked up underneath the tower. He'll die. 2 for 1 so far in the exchanges. Zeus able to walk down towards the bottom side. Kite away. G2 continue to push in for the tier 2 in the mid lane.
Broken Blade. He's looking for more. They'll just take the tower. Wow. And Broken Blade was just kind of
trying to kill this Yasuo. It's, by the way, didn't flash, didn't die.
Carrier into the wall. Hansama there for the follow-up. Just looking to chunk Carrier out.
Whoa!
Well, that's a hell of a chunk from G2. The chain of corruption landing as well. As Zeus going to try and lock in the gold card to stop Hansama from the chase. But Yike is here, and Zeus is not long for the rift. G2 find another 2 with Drake up in a minute. On him. Ona just wants to get in here. Now out of vision. Last breath going in. It's secured by Yike. No damage between the 2 teams really as G2 just get the Drake and get out, but Yike is overstepping. Cease and desist on the backline into the last breath, into the shockwave. Faker is yeeted the hell out of the fight, and even the base core might not be enough to save Carrier. Ona down, Guma down,
that's it.
T1 down, and G2 on the brink of taking a lead versus T1.
T1 again, they try to force. Again, they don't succeed. Trying to take down Yike. He's able to turn it with an immediate ultimate. Faker's going to TP back in a desperate attempt. Yike won't find him, but I don't think it's going to make a difference.
G2 is looking to end the game right here. Sub 30 minutes. G2 have torn T1 apart.
He's got the wave, though. This is really smart. Carrier catches it. The cannon minion dies, and there's only 1 minion left alive. G2 unable
to T1, and this should be the last ditch effort from T1.
No flash for Ona, but the Cataclysm Mickey locks him up. Ona shut out. And G2 did everything they needed to make sure there was no steal happening as the flash shockwave on Faker takes him down to half. Mickey with a slam into the wall, and Guma's hopes of winning this game are being slammed in his face. G2 almost clean acing T1. Guma dies. There it is. A clean ace for G2.
5 alive for G2, 5 dead on the side of T1, and with this, G2 will go to match point.
The last Nexus tower, merely a blip on the radar for G2. It is G2 T1.
And they round things out with a Poppy once more.
It's what we talked about in the previous game. The Poppy is also great into the Cassante. Last time,
Oscar against Gen G.
Exactly. They don't want to go for it.
I think he was trying to catch
one though.
I think
got it.
I think he was trying to catch Faker off for sure. Doesn't have the TP, so he's likely going to stay to catch this wave. He's been taking a few poor trades against Faker.
Well, you think Faker's flash was burnt early doors, and since then Faker's actually been in the lead, both health and CS wise. Yike still looking for mid. Faker still a quarter of the cooldown left on his flash, but he can just dash across the wall. Grub's taken by Ona. Caps no shot.
Carrier, level 6. Mickey very far behind in terms of XP. All the objectives are going T1 to 8. G2's options feel very...
We talked about how tough it can be for Hansama to play some of the later game fights. Same for Guma, honestly, because he is playing against a whole lot of aggressive backline threat.
Carrier able to magical journey his way to safety. G2 got the bot side Scuttle Crab, but meanwhile Ona is taking the 5th, 6th grub for T1. And they also got the first Drake. Neutral control very much in T1's favor in this game so far.
Oh, completely. And you can see
I'm
advantage.
good. Let me
Summer,
be.
though, down to half HP. Faker does have the flank position here. No Emperor's Divide, remember, as Owner goes in. Crescent Guard flash away from the Chain of Corruption. Immediately, Yike and Caps try to dive onto Faker, but Hans Summer's already fallen. Hostile takeover lands on 2 First Blood. Goes over to T1. They find a second.
Binding!
And a cosmic binding from Carrier is just sublime. And now Caps knocked up, tries to flash, but there's no way he's getting away from Owner today. Or is he? As he continues to walk away, has to dodge, the wind becomes lightning. Owner gonna tank the tower. Audacious charge is enough as Yike falls as well. It's 4-1 T1.
And just like
Much
that,
in a hole, T1. This is kind of more of what we expected from them in this series. Getting out to an early lead, 4,000 gold there.
Yeah.
Wow.
So obviously his champion pool is as wide as league goes, but hold up.
Corruption hits. Hostile takeover is going to be popped. Gumiyushi's going to be caught in the back of it. Broken Blade with a flank position. Yike with a double knockup, but Caps not quite here yet for G2. The Tempered Fate buys a second. Carrier's going to be the first to fall as G2 continue the battle. Faker in with the Emperor's Divide, but Faker low. Zeus on that front line, though, can tank for days. Broken Blade can't quite land the stun into the wall, but the shockwave. Pathmaker out. Zeus survives. Living Artillery just short from G2. They find one, only Carrier falls.
okay, so G2 actually win a fight there. The TP from Faker doesn't really result in much, and it opens up this mid tower. Some bounty gold will go back to G2.
Getting him in a better position could have been big as Guma.
Gumiyushi, no summoners on him. Chain of Corruption goes wide and Guma's just down.
And is collapsed on by G2. Crucially, they give that shutdown over to Hans.
Faker going in. Titanic Hydra, not enough. The shockwave onto Faker. Yike dashing away, but Owner's here and will happily accept that kill. Carrier with another Cosmic Binding. Hans Summer trying to close in from the side, but he knows that Owner's on his
In
way.
fact, the gold lead though still 4K in favor, and the Hextech Soul specifically is one that I don't think you can afford to give soul points to. Zeus alone here.
Doesn't have the ghost, has the Pathmaker. Steadfast Presence locked him up for a second. Broken Blade chasing in. Void Rush. Caps collapsing. Owner's on his way, but can Zeus survive for long enough? The all-out might not be enough as Caps lands a shockwave on 2, and now Owner with a bounty on his head in the middle of 3 members of G2. Caps flashes out of vision, and Owner has to flash away. Collapsing though, T1 come in. Gumiyushi there first. Yike dashes away from the Chain of Corruption. Owner falling low, but the piercing arrow from Gumiyushi never misses its mark.
Invested to the top side by G2.
Faker secures a tower in the bot lane and gets another.
I understand for G2, but T1 gonna be very happy about that.
G2 in the hole right now. 2 items on Owner.
Silver Scrapes to bring us to a game 5.
Making scene here.
TP
behind. Hans Summer has 2 items. Yike goes in. They look for Owner first. Crescent Guard popped
Yes,
by
no flash.
him. Broken Blade might go for Guma. Can knock him into the wall. Carrier, though, is going to spot him. Steadfast Presence going down as the Sundisk is used. Flash from Mickey with a hostile takeover, but it only lands onto the Azir. Yike trying to do what he can in the middle of the fight. His Owner's already down to half HP, but Yike and Mickey and G2 have to retreat because gold from Carrier. The shockwave only lands on 1. It's Owner, not the target that G2 wanted. And Faker has had enough. He slides G2 into the waiting moors of his team as T1 look to take us to match points.
Oh, this is the classic T1. You think you're fine? The geometry is that fine with the Bard, the TPs, but in the end, at the very least, they're gonna get the inhib. But knowing them, I'm feeling they're gonna try and bring us to back-to-back Silver Scrapes.
There is something inevitable about Faker. There is something indomitable about T1. Mickey comes up alive, 8 seconds on Hans Summer. No minion wave here for T1, but they have the might to try and help out. The wave about 5 seconds away. Hans Summer will respawn in time. T1 take the gate out and have a little patience.
The shockwave was barely impactful. Caps! He completely whiffs the shockwave, doesn't even send the ball.
It's quintessential.
It's about to bring us to another Silver Scrapes, and man, what a treat it's been.
And what a turnaround, an absolute stomp from start to finish from T1, reminding the world why they are so feared. They're continuing the siege, good damage from Guma, forces G2 back as they chip away at this tower.
There have been 9 5-game series in MSI history. We might get 2 in a row. In fact, I think it's pretty much certain now as T1 push in for the top lane inhibitor. G2 have half a Nexus tower to try and defend. Broken Blade, Steadfast Presence will stop Owner's engage. Gumiyushi down to half HP. Zeus pulled back with a handshake, but he's tanky enough. G2 looking for any last vestige of hope, sending up prayers, looking for a miracle. Broken Blade finds one perhaps as Ona's locked up. He flashes the wall. All they're going to do is buy a little time here. But time is swiftly running out. Kronos himself is playing for T1, and Faker goes in again. Stopwatches the tempered fate from Carrier. In fact, the Streamer slide was not enough. The shockwave from G2 will do nothing as T1 assert their dominance on the series and take us to Silver Scrapes.
5 games, you wouldn't have it any other way. Remember that I don't think Casante's lost in the last 2 days.
Big thing
I don't
here.
think so either.
Big thing here is that this time Zeus obviously, even knowing he's going to go into a lane swap, doesn't also go for the sell.
How suspicious will T1 be? They're skeptical.
Sentinel out, Hag Splash into the wall. Goober down, Mickey takes it.
First blood for Mickey. Faker just trading back and forth. Faker with a small CS advantage. Broken Blade is going to be a kill.
Zeus dashes away, has popped the ghost. Charm in the mid lane though as Ona's on the board.
Early game skirmishing power this T1 comp has still is absolutely insane. Single kill can start the reset chain for Carrier and Faker. The G2 not going to be contested here whatsoever.
Can't go any further. Broken Blade looking for Gumayushi. Flash heal still available for the T180 carry. Carrier here to bolster his defenses as the let's bounce from Broken Blade. Just chunks out Gumayushi, doesn't get a summoner. Zeus now a target. Pathmakers forward, gets the stun into a hammer shock against the wall, and Hansama is on
against Talia, against Belbev, against Zach. Going to be so much harder. One of the really big things is with this continuous swapping as well, this T1 comp is so reliant on early tempo and finding early skirmishes. So getting to an objective first, trying to force your opponent to then play into you, and then take them down with your spirit.
Oh, it's beautiful from Zeus. Gets the all out, but Broken Blade with the left bounce can just heal up from that volatile matter. Elastic slingshot out. It's an ultimate for an ultimate. Zeus popped the ghost as well. Mickey looking for Guma, no flash. Chain of corruption into the zap. He's dead, says Chronicler, and G2 agree.
And they're going to look to take another shot at the pillar.
Steadfast presence knocked into the wall, and down goes Carrier. Yike needs to be careful though, because Faker and Ono on the collapse. Broken Blade in the top lane. Spirit rush forward, Faker looking for the charm. Yike tries to dodge away, but he doesn't have another dash. There's the charm. Ona gets his second.
This is the saving grace for T1, Faker and Ona. This mid-jungle duo, you mentioned it earlier, Chronicler. If they can keep finding these skirmishes, there is an angle back into this game.
That said, they're still going to have to find a way to reliably get on top of Hans, which is just hard to imagine, even with how good T1's team fighting can be. The last game, we're in control very early on, 2-level lead
if
here.
They can get one of these, he gets the mites for his team. Not huge, he almost got one, but can't quite do it. T1 will secure 3 apiece.
Wait, bot lane again, look, they've just spotted Carrier on
some caution.
Not just a Weaver's Wall into Guma dying here. Cap stepping forward, Weaver's Wall not used, seismic shove enough. Bates call will pull out Gumayushi. Mickey's running up towards the rest of T1. A kill over to T1, good reaction. Safeguards forward, dodges the seismic shove, misses the sonic wave, and Caps just dances away from everything in mid lane. Tower going down in the top lane.
One of the biggest pieces of criticism that was there for T1, particularly in, say, 2022, was the way that their draw...
Oh, it took us 5 games.
Hansama gonna secure another tower.
So synced that we say exactly the same thing.
That's huge.
Allowing him to dodge over those walls. Ona looking for Caps. Caps gonna base check, safeguard, knock back, sonic wave, sizing shove, dodged. Caps trying to get back to Hansama, and he'll do it. Yike! The body block from him. Caps dashes away, but the Foxfire chases him. Ona looking for more as Yike are their kryptonite.
It's the game 5, right? Yeah. Like, yes, against KT they were able to win, but KT has got...
In the upper bracket, didn't they also lose the game 5, knocking them down into the lowers? The pressure is on. Broken Blade has joined the fight. Dragon, 54 seconds.
Oh, Yike's gonna ride this one away. Dashes across. Ona knocked into the wall. Oh! The elastic shot charged away, but the hits the TP in by Caps. T1 trying to retreat because already they have lost. Ona stretching, strike into the all-out. Broken Blade pulled across the wall. He'll elastic shot out with the spear. He finds Hansama, and every time you count him out, Faker is there to find the fight. TP behind now by Faker. Mickey and Yike trying to run away. Another charm onto Caps. Faker no spirit rush, no flash, but Caps has no HP left.
Faker is him, and he continues to prove why. An incredible pick onto Hansama, converts into a TP flank, and they're not done just yet.
Oh, big thing here, though, is that right now they're not able to allow them to go for Baron. I think they will end up dying, but denying the Baron from T1 is still big.
Broken Blade survived for a very long time here, goes back into the cell division. Faker and Keria start to retreat. Zeus here to try and back up. But Broken Blade back to half HP. Super Mega Death Rocket up in 5s.
In what looked like a one-sided fight for G2, they were going to get this game. Is delivering.
Guma has the edge of night. Chain of Corruption already used. Weaver's wall in by Caps. Guma flashes. Yike with the knock-up seismic shot. Fates call out. TP in now by T1 as they look to take the fight. Zeus locked up for a moment and Yike is deleted. Ona found the flag, but now he'll fall. Zeus on the backline onto Hansama. Flash away. Mickey's trying to body block, but Zeus goes all out. Just this once. Faker dives into the backline. Caps next up for Zeus. And Faker's on a rampage. Caps just can't get through Zeus. He is not fed enough. And the flash away from Caps buys him a second, but that's all it's going to be. You can't buy class, and Faker's here to fight.
And of all people, the person criticized most in Game 5s was Zeus, but his Cassante there drew so much attention, created so much space, and now T1 on a gold lead. But it wasn't enough of Zeus. Is he going to be in trouble?
I don't think so. I think Mickey's just being a nuisance more than...
Broken Blade on this Zac. The flip side is also true. If Hans dies...
Mickey locked up, and Mickey is down. Faker still has 2 Spirit Rush charges as T1 continue to chip away at the Baron. It's down to 6,000. Spirit Rush forward, Charm. Zeus on that front line. Yike having to dash away. Broken Blade locked up, and Tofu's back. Zeus down to half HP. Faker no Spirit Rush left. The Baron's still low as Ona's looking to smite it. He'll get it. But will Zeus fallen when the resets happen for G2? Onto the backline goes Mickey. Carrier's almost taking him out, but Carrier almost falls himself. Ona dives in. Hansama just needs one to really open up. Ona goes down. G2 have lost 2 already though, and Zeus can dash back in. Hansama, only the cleanse and flash. Can G2 do it from here? Cell division in by Broken Blade. The Baron already secured by T1, but G2 do not want them to get out without a fight. Weaver's wall forward. Faker low on mana. Chain of Corruption, Edge of Night popped. Gumayushi almost fallen, but is able to dodge away from the seismic shove. And T1 are on the wrong side of the map right now. Any TPs up, no one up for 30 seconds. Elastic slingshot forward, and Carrier will pull him out with a Fates call, but Carrier's down now. Guma next up for Broken Blade, who flashes away from the piercing arrow, and Guma goes down. Faker, no mana left on it. Has a flash of his own, flash charm a possibility. Broken Blade takes the blast cone. Zeus trying to beat that front line for Ona. Faker flanking. G2 unaware, but the Dragon secured. G2 Sonic Wave on Broken Blade spots him out. Caps trying to get the mid lane control once again. Ona going in, pulled back with a stretching strike, but Broken Blade more of a nuisance than anything. Caps down to half HP. Yike dashing forward. Faker doing the same. Faker goes in with the Spirit Rush, Charm going short. As Yike lands the knockup, he gets a stretching strike back, and Faker's locked against the wall. And Faker is down, buried beneath the earth. Can G2 find more? Hansama stepping forward, but look how low Yike is. T1 can still turn this fight back on its head. Zeus no flash. Obviously he's running the ghost, but he does have Q3 right now as it lands it onto Caps. Zeus going in, knocked back. Mickey dashes into the wall as Ona's locked up. Hansama dodging away from the Sonic Wave, and can he really open up? Not quite. Broken Blade's going to go into the cell division. The seismic shove to short. Broken Blade likely to fall here. Yike was trying to heal himself back up, but Broken Blade goes down. Another Q from Zeus. He finds his mark, and T1 marched.
Yeah, they'll get a Camtech Drake, but that's not what you're going to be looking towards. Carrier, he's harassing Faker's there.
Faker goes in, there's the charm, cleansed away by Hansama. The charm actually came out second! Even I was deceived as Hansama was. Faker showing exactly why he is the GOAT.
The Baron is secured. Caps.
He has Banshees.
He has the Banshees.
Baron is taken by T1.
With Hansama gone, that's 40 seconds. T1 may... Okay, maybe an end is a little ambitious. The wave clear is still there from Caps.
Only 1 minion here, the next wave on its way, about 5 seconds away. Carrier dashing forward. Gumayushi has that lethality, but Mana Moon alongside it. Weaver's Wall will stop the minion wave. 20 seconds on Hansama. T1 can still push in. The minions, they're having a little trip going to see the pandas, but they'll make their way out of the jungle and make their march down the mid lane. Hansama still 10 seconds away. T1 maybe just go for the inhibitor, but maybe even more. Consent blood.
Crucial, but if their backline can stay safe, I don't know if G2 can make it, especially because, again, There's no LDR.
Yeah. G2 are going to try and collapse on Zeus, who was pushing him mid. Seismic shove going out, but the all-out to dodge the CC from Zeus. His Cassante in these last 2 games has been a wonderful sight to see. T1 now use that pressure, push in the bot lane. They don't need the inhibs yet. The Weaver's wall coming out. Kerio on the wrong side of it, but he's got the flash. Chain of corruption going wide as T1 look to make their final advance into the base of G2. Zeus keeping Broken Blade at bay. Yike looking for an engage. Super Mega Death Rocket hits onto Gumayuchi, who does have flash. Kerio, remember, has just burnt his. Faker no flash either, but he's got that Banshee's Veil. He's got that veil of safety that G2 have been unable to penetrate. Now the inhibitor in the mid lane, T1's target. And G2 just can't get in. Zeus dashes forward, but that's double inhib to T1.
Oh, and double inhib. That's so hard to come back from because this is going to chain into what probably will be a Chemtech Soul. 41 is
Mickey charmed up! Mickey put in the dirt, 6 feet under, maybe short to be followed by G2. The seismic shove on owner, but the chain of corruption lands onto Caps, and a stopwatch can only buy you a second to stop and watch your team be ruined by T1. This far and no further, this close and no closer. For G2, this was the day they almost beat T1. For T1, it's just another Friday.